I'm trying to get the computer pulled up here. Um, yeah, so I'm sure you guys can see anybody who's actually here already. I'm wearing a hoodie and I've got my sleeves down because winter showed up this week. It's not even fall; it's straight up winter. The temperature 3 hours ago was like 59, and it is now like 41,
Ugh.
and it's supposed to be in the 30s tonight here. So as soon as the sun decided that it was even potentially going down, the temperature just went. Yeah,
Mm, no, thank you.
yeah, it's pretty bad. And so, in all honesty, I'm running on fumes today. I've got a sick munchkin at home, and I don't know whether it's because he kept us up all night, or whether it's because it's cold outside, or whether it's because it's already dark outside, or whether I'm getting sick too. But man, I'm running on fumes already. I mean, I have been at the shop for 13 and a half hours, and I probably got 4.5, 5 hours worth of sleep last night, but I'm running on fumes. So yeah, Wesley's phone may or may not be charging. So
Dude.
if tonight's
Oh
stream goes
man.
off the rails, don't be surprised.
Yeah, I might be pulling the trigger on that upgrade. She's not really taking a charge really good right
Yeah,
now.
yeah, it's not looking good for the home team.
The old
Uh,
iPhone 8. Oh no.
Theron, Paul, Toby, Zach, SLZ builds. What's going on, everybody?
Everyone's
Zach,
here.
congratulations on your finishes at Super Shafty. Did fantastic out there at Super Shafty. So congratulations on that stuff. Wish you were going to Crawlapalooza. We are 10 days out from Crawlapalooza. I have a custom chassis cut for Wesley that I have not shipped yet. So we may or may not be building the truck the night before the event. We'll see if I can get the printer to cooperate with me tomorrow. I fought making a slacker. Yeah, I've been designing and working on a wrap for Wesley's body, and I had my wife helping me with it, and uh, we finalized it on Friday night. Yeah, Friday night, and she emailed me all the files and everything, but I did not come to the shop Saturday or Sunday, and then when I got here today. Uh, I haven't tried to print Photoshop files yet with the printer, and apparently my printer does not like Photoshop files. So, like, grays were printing purple, purples were printing black, blacks were printing black. Like, it just, I can go grab the three failed prints of.
No.
I'm like,
Is it
just
legible?
yes.
Because I
Uh,
mean, the color kind of sounds cool. I like.
let me get. I'll go grab it real quick.
Oh. Doo, doo, doo. That was my phone. It's dying. I'm just kidding. Everyone's here to see this wrap for the first time.
Well,
I don't even.
I didn't let it print very far, but
Okay.
like this was supposed to be gray.
Oh, nice.
That's
First thing.
that's not gray. So that was an issue. Um, but I did get this printed,
Hey.
which this is half of a two-sided sign that will go at our vendor booth.
That's kind of one thing we've been missing throughout the years because we'll get stuck down in the courses and it might be like 6:30, And then
Yeah.
nobody swings by because they don't know if we're ever going to open.
Yeah.
So that's going to be pretty nice to have.
Yeah. Zach, you should totally skip your brother's wedding for that. I'm skipping a wedding of a family friend to be there, so you should skip your brother's wedding for that. Speaking of brother, my brother on Friday, well, on Thursday, my brother texted me and was like, "Hey, you gonna be at your shop on Friday?" Yeah, I'm always at my shop. And he said, "All right, I'm gonna stop by." Okay, whatever. So he stopped at the shop and we were standing around bullshit and hanging out for like 45 minutes or so while machines were running, whatever. And then I remembered that, like, at his birthday dinner, he asked me if there was some day that I could help him, if I could do an oil change on his car. And I told him, yeah, of course, whatever. So that clicked into my head that potentially that's why he's here, because he never brought up like why he was stopping at my shop, and he never said anything while he was here. So finally, I was just like, "So did you bring oil and filter with you?" He's like, "No, we're gonna have to go get it." And but like, I also need brake pads. Like my brakes are kind of making noise. I'm like, dude, it's 11 a.m. on a Friday. You think I want to do brakes and oil change on your fucking Volkswagen today? Like, for free? Great. Now let me take you to the auto parts store so we can do all this shit for free. Uh, so I ended up doing an oil change and front pads on his car, but I did not have my rear brake caliper tool at the shop to like spin the rear
Yeah.
pistons in. So I'm like, you're gonna have to come back for me to do the rear pads. They're sitting on the bench over there, but I'm like, lovely. Let me drop what I'm doing
Yeah.
to do that.
You lost me at Volkswagen. I'm like, oh, what's the worst car it could be? Probably isn't that bad.
It's a
Oh, never mind.
2016 Tiguan.
Ooh, so you have that nice like Indiana rust starting to
Yes.
set in.
Well, the worst part about his entire car is the sunroof seals. It's got the panoramic sunroof,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like the first year for that on that vehicle, and the rubber seals are just junk. So like he's constantly vacuuming water out of the carpets. And it's a 2016 Tiguan with like 95,000 miles on it. It's not that, but just the rubber seals on the sunroof are junk.
They don't make them like they used to.
Yeah. Are you going to have any special goodies to sell up there? I assume you mean at Crawlapalooza. And the answer is potentially.
I think
There
I'll have a
could
couple things.
there could possibly be some 6x6 high lows there. There could potentially be some C1 Pro Leafer setups there.
You'll have to beat the team drivers. Keep in mind, you're
Yeah.
racing about 4 airplanes of team drivers. All.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's another cool thing about Crawlapalooza. We've got a lot of team drivers showing up. We've got guys from Washington. We've got guys from Hawaii. We've got guys from Missouri and Indiana. I don't think the Kentucky guys are coming
I think they're
this
going
year.
to
They went
Super
they went to
Shaft.
Super Shafty instead of Crawlapalooza this year, but I think there's still gonna be like two, four, five, six, seven, probably 7 to 10 of us, 7 or 8, 9 of us there, 10 of us maybe there.
Be a fun
So
party.
yeah, so we'll have a lot of team drivers there. They took our jobs. Yeah. Oh man, nice South Park reference there. Only an hour away from Disney. Can't get there. I can get there early. Yeah. So you're leaving Wesley what, Thursday morning early?
Yeah, I'm gonna wake up. I think honestly, probably with gas stop and stuff, it'd probably be about 8 hours, 8.5. So I was gonna leave crack of dawn Actually, probably before. It'll be dark when I leave. I don't know.
Yeah,
Last year I got there like 2 or 3 p.m.
yeah,
Not bad.
and I'm leaving that Thursday morning also. Next Thursday morning, depending on what Hibby has going on. So, Hibby's wife and kids may be going also. Hibby rented a 2 bedroom suite at the damn hotel.
The damn
Um,
hotel.
so if his wife and kids go, I will not be stopping to grab Hibby. I will be just jumping in the vehicle and hitting the highway. If Hibby doesn't go, I'll probably leave about 6 in the morning, and it's an 11-hour drive, but there's a time change. So I should be there between 4 to 5 p.m. Oklahoma time, depending on fuel stops and lunches and whatever. If Hibby's wife and kids are not going, I will still probably leave at 6 a.m., but I will stop and grab him and then drive down, and that's going to add probably about an hour to the drive total.
Dang.
So
It'll be
still
dark.
probably right around dark Thursday evening.
Cool. Yeah, I haven't got with Jake or any of them about what time they're showing up. I don't know if it's Friday or what. I would assume it's Friday. That's
No, I'd assume they're all going. They'll all show up on Thursday. All the fly-in guys will show up on Thursday.
be the smart thing to do.
Yeah, yeah, they wouldn't show up on Friday. Friday's got all kinds of C1, C0, C1, and whatnots on Friday, so they don't want to show up on Friday. They'll show up on Thursday.
Yeah.
Hopefully, I have my truck back by then.
Taking the Jeep.
Well, I don't want to drive the Jeep. 11 hours in a lifted JK is probably equally as shitty as 11 hours in your old Land Cruiser. Like, it's not the worst thing in the world, but like, there's much better things to do.
Yeah, you'd get there. Well, I was ready for like a nap.
Yes. Yeah. So, however, if I get my truck back, I will just trailer the Jeep down. I don't know if I mentioned where my truck is or not, but a buddy of mine dropped his truck off at our other buddy's shop for lift the wheels and tires. He's got a 2016 half ton Ram. He dropped the truck off for lift wheels and tires, and the cam bolts and the lower control arms were seized into the control arms, so they had to torch all that shit off. And in the process of like starting the truck and pulling it into the shop and starting the truck and pulling it out of the shop, it was making all kinds of noise. And turns out it needs cams and lifters and head work and all kinds of stuff. So yeah, so he needed a truck. He hauls a bunch of small parts and whatnot to powder coat and back all the time. So he needed a truck. So I was like, well, just come grab my truck and use it while your truck's at Sean's shop and, whatever. Thinking it was going to be like a 1 week deal. Well, we're more than 2 weeks in now and I don't have my truck back.
You're such a nice guy, man.
Well, I mean, he's a good friend. I've known him for 20 plus years, and I know the truck's fine. He's
It's in good hands.
he's not the type of guy to beat the piss out of my truck, and even if he did, he'd fix it. So
Stop taking it into any of those Indiana slideshows in the
no,
intersections of downtown.
yeah. No, the issue that I have is I've got all these new axle parts for the JK for my Wrangler, but I don't want to start tearing into the Wrangler without having my truck in case something stupid happens, and then I gotta call him and be like, "Hey, buddy, I know I let you borrow my truck, but like I need it back."
Yeah.
So, but hopefully, I was talking to Sean today, and he said the Tom's truck should be done tomorrow or Wednesday. So
Nice.
That'll give me enough time this weekend, hopefully, to do axle shaft swapping around in my truck and whatever. Either one of y'all coming down for Tennessee State Championships. When is that, Zach? Can anyone swing by and pick me up? Paul, where are you flying in and when? I mean, we've got team drivers flying into Springfield, Missouri. There's at least 2 to 3 flights of guys coming into Springfield. 10 hours in my VW wasn't terrible. Average 42 going to Maryland and back. I used to have Volkswagens, a GTI, a Jetta, TDI Jetta. I was a Volkswagen guy. I still like Volkswagens. I used to drive to Daytona Beach and back from northern Indiana for a long weekend trip, like doing 14 to 16 hours in a comfortable car isn't that big of a deal to me each way, but man, 14 hours in a lifted Wrangler is not the same as 14 hours in a Volkswagen with heated seats. It's not the same.
Paul, are you pulling our chain or are you flying in from California? I think Paul wants someone to pick him up in California. You're slightly out of the way, Paul.
Yeah, if you want us to come get you in California, that's a little bit out of the way, but
I'm gonna have to leave this Thursday.
yeah.
We're gonna have to leave Sunday.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm ready to get away from a weekend.
Yeah. I'm excited to escape a couple of days of overtime.
Yeah.
Because this dude is tired. My problem is I'm constantly doing something during the week, so when the weekend comes, I go hard because that's like my only couple of days to not really worry about work too much. So I need to like relax. So this past weekend I went to a friend of mine and a group of guys put on this Overland Expo out in Llano, Texas. So I went to that this weekend, seeing a bunch of cool stuff and a bunch of stuff I was really trying not to spend money on. I did succeed. I didn't spend much money, but I do already have a bunch of stuff I don't already need, which they were still selling. So I've already bought a bunch of that stuff already. But yeah, a lot of cool stuff to see. If you're into that thing, it's a cool place to visit. But that's where I was all weekend. I left Friday right after work.
Tennessee State Championship, November 3rd and 4th, Panther Creek State Park in Morristown, Tennessee. So that is an 8-hour and 20-minute drive from me.
Dang, to Tennessee?
Yeah, 2 weekends after Trollapalooza, so that's probably not going to happen. On top of the fact that I don't know if my wife will be home from her work trip then or not. Jamie has to go to Vegas for SEMA and Apex. So she'll be gone for like 10 days. I don't know exactly. I don't remember the dates that she's leaving and coming back, but it's that ish time. It's over holiday weekend or over Halloween weekend, so she's all kinds of been out of shape. She's gonna miss Halloween.
What do y'all do for Halloween normally?
Go around, take a kid around the neighborhood.
Terrorize the neighbors.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, that's about it.
Had a bunch of these made. If it'll focus, it's not gonna focus. Those little harness handlers or whatever I had last year.
Yeah.
I don't even think I have it. I think throughout the year, I like throw them into random packages.
I had a couple hundred made of the smaller ones. I don't think I have any of them on the bench here.
They're pretty handy if you're trying, like, I don't know, some of my trucks kind of like picky on the wire routing, so I keep stuff away from vital parts.
Yeah, the ones I made were like really small for like
Rotating assemblies.
like your small zip ties with a 2.5 or 3 millimeter mounting screw.
Yeah.
They barely stuck over the top of like a 2-point low trans or a creeper T. I don't know. I don't know if this truck has any on it or not.
Yeah, I'll have these at Crawlpalooza. I don't know.
Come on. Couldn't get the winch line unhooked. Oh, yeah, there's one on this one. This little tiny wire tab right here underneath this. Hard to see, but it's just a teeny tiny little wire tab to put a zip tie on to keep shit out of the prop shaft or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh man. Yep, I'm running on fumes.
This episode's brought to you by Red Bull and a Topo Chico seltzer.
Running out of gas here tonight, guys. So if I fall asleep in my chair, somebody click the end of stream button for me.
I'm actually shocked at how cold it is up there already.
Yeah, man. We're in the 30s tonight. Right now inside my shop, it's 64.
Dang, your AC works so good.
Yeah, my AC works so good. Yeah,
AC is nice.
It's 64 inside here right now. I'm refusing to turn on the heat, but
yeah, I got out to that event and keep my ass been like high 80s at night. So I was like, man, Friday it was chilled right off. It's probably the same, like probably feeling the same effects from like whatever you got up there, but I don't know if it got down to the mid 40s, but it was almost brisk. I had only brought. I get the classic. I have this issue to where I only bring like t-shirts and stuff.
yep.
I brought pants, and then I got there, and it got to be dark. And I was like, man, I don't even have a hoodie or a long sleeve. I just literally have. I brought pants. What was I thinking? But it wasn't too bearable. I kind of adapted. It wasn't that bad.
It's currently 44 here right now. The low tonight is 40. The low tomorrow night is 37.
You.
Yeah.
You can
High
keep that with you
tomorrow-
next weekend.
High tomorrow is 55.
The high.
The high is 55.
Did you
and
look up the Disney?
So over the next 7 days, we have 5 days of rain in the next 7, and the highest temperature is 61. I did look up Disney weather, and currently for the weekend of the event, it's supposed to be like low 70s and sunny Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and lows in the mid to upper 50s.
That's perfect. I'll take that.
Yeah. It was sunny and 75 Thursday on course. Saturday I'd like to have froze during the day, and Sunday it was freezing rain, spit, and snow. Yeah. So Zach, that weather blew through here on Friday on its way to Maryland on Saturday, and yeah, just overall pretty shitty. I was camping at Crawl for Hope and woke up to snow. Yep. I'm
Yeah.
so tired. I'm already over it. Like this is the first cold weather and I don't
Your
want to do it.
your joints are getting achy already.
Yeah, man, I'm already old. I can't do it. Can't handle it.
The yeah, no, Crawlapalooza is looking pretty good, so I'll take
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. I'll take low 70s and sun over 50s for sure.
This will be the 7th year, 8th year we've been going to Crawlapalooza. So I think my first what was my first time down there? I think in 16. I'm going to Crawlapalooza for a minute.
Yeah. I'll definitely pack some coveralls for next year. Last year at Super Shafty, it got pretty shitty too. It's that time of year, man. These northern and eastern states just you can't predict it. It could be 90 or it could be fucking 40. You never know. I'm in Michigan. This time of year is always crisp. There's always a crapshoot with the weather. Yes, absolutely it is. And well, last week we had a day that was 86 degrees last week, and this week we're not gonna break 55. So it's I don't like it.
The
Don't like it at all.
now that it's like low 80s here, now you'll see people in like sweatshirts.
No, the hoodies don't come out for me until it's like 60s, like low 60s. Upper 50s, low 60s, I'll grab a hoodie, but beyond that, it's t-shirts.
Dude, yeah, no, everyone's. You go below 70, it's freaking. People are dressing up like it's 40.
Yeah. Steve said we had 87 last week, then shit rain, then it was 36 this morning. Yeah, exactly. It was the low last night here was 41, so we're pretty close, Steve. I don't know where you are in Michigan, but our weather is clearly pretty similar because it was low 40s and raining this morning here. Like the sun didn't even bother to come out until noon, which makes for an even longer day when you are at your shop by 7:30. By 7:15, I was at the shop this morning, and it's 8:30 already.
Um, Someone is asking about the random stuff we're gonna bring to Crawlapalooza. I do have two of these. The C1 Trail, but it's the um, AR 500 steel, which does that natural like patina.
Make that three. I have a set too.
So I'll bring these. I'll take these before I'll list stuff on the garage sale. But that's where I was almost gonna have you throw these on there, but I'll just save them for Crawlapalooza. Um, Also, these bad boys. I have that little, I did a little trimming on that one link for this first batch. It'll have like you'll see it's kind of like polished on this lower third axle, but that's because I had to trim up one spot. But I'll bring these. I don't think these will get thrown on the site before Crawlapalooza, so you'll just have to come to the booth and check it out.
Probably.
I think that's all I got for Crawlapalooza. Well, I'll have that C1 leafer, which is pretty sweet. It's looking at me from across the room.
I don't think I'm gonna have anything new or special at all, really, to bring with me. Just some random inventory.
Yeah, a set of wheels for me. I do need to order some tires for that.
Yeah. Yeah, I can make that
Um,
happen.
what hubs do you recommend? The 350s?
Depends on the axle, but yeah, 350s. If you're running a straight axle, I'd go 450s.
Okay, so I'll have it on that mullet. So I'll have straight front portal rear,
Yeah,
so 450
I
front,
I do a
350
450
rear.
front and a 350 rear. Yeah.
Okay. That sounds like a plan. I'm torn on tires. I really miss the BFG crawlers. I think those are the only tires that ran to where the outer lugs disappeared. I ran the crap out of those.
I had a set of the 4.19 '06 MTXs that I did that to. The outer and inner lugs both were completely gone.
Yeah.
It was just smooth tire.
Um.
I think I sold those on a set of Vanquish 310s with gold beadlock rings.
I'm just kind of thinking out loud. The 1.9 trucks that just came out, those are huge, aren't they?
Yes.
No, I don't think I want those. It's a shame. They kind of like. I kind of want Treps again, just for like throwback purposes. But man, that size is so big.
Yeah. Yeah, those Treps are
Almost five,
huge.
right? They're 4.9,
Yeah.
4.9.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
Huh.
they're not class 2 tires, they're class 3 tires.
Yeah. I mean,
Well worn crawlers just work so good, it's silly. Any well worn any tire works better than a new tire, period.
yeah.
It doesn't really matter whether it's a sticky tire or not. Just once you get the lips of the tire feathered off so the tire quits hopping, they get way better.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I'm going for more of like a scale tire. Otherwise, I'll just get the trenchers. But kind of going for it's gonna go on the skinny 80. So I think I'll just do. I don't know. The crawlers are just calling out to me. Like predator crawlers,
Eh,
something soft,
yeah.
sticky, but like based off of a true tire.
I mean, Carlpalooza, the
You
tire
could,
you choose doesn't matter at all. You could run OEM RTR tires if you want down there. It's not.
yeah.
They're sharp. It doesn't matter. The rocks down there are sharp. It doesn't matter.
As it's shaping up, man, I think I'm just gonna be trailing that truck around. We'll see.
Yeah.
This hasn't turned out to be our year without divulging too much.
Yeah. I was talking to Carl with Crawler Canyon earlier, and um, he mentioned potentially doing a raffle with our pizza party.
Oh, okay.
But I was like, man, like, yeah, I agree. Like, it'd be cool, do a raffle for charity, whatever, whatever. But our pizza deal is the same time as awards and raffles for Carlpalooza. So I don't want to distract from their show since we are not sponsoring the event. If we were sponsoring the event, it'd be a whole different story. Um, Unfortunately, the notice we were given and the dollar amount we were given don't line up with any type of promotion or advertising for the event. So we are not sponsoring the event.
Yeah. I think there might have been some communication lost or what, but um, yeah, we'll we're kind of playing it by ear, but
Yeah.
officially right now, yeah, nothing. It's kind of a shame. Like I said, I think we've been sponsoring since 16 or 17. I don't know the first. Well, no, I was sponsoring that. I wasn't there for I think 1 or 2 years. The first 1 or 2 years, and then after that, I started actually coming down there. But we might have been sponsoring that for probably since maybe 15.
It's been
I
a
don't
long time.
know. So it's
Oh
kind of
yeah.
a bummer. Not sure what
But
happened
all
there.
but also there hasn't been any postings or promotions about the event at all whatsoever.
Yeah,
The
I've been.
only singular post that's been made about the event was in August.
Yeah,
So I mean,
I.
part of me feels bad for not sponsoring the event, but also I feel bad for anyone who has sponsored the event because there hasn't been any postings or promotions or advertising of any kind for
Yeah,
anyone who sponsored the event other than Crawler Canyon, the title sponsor. That's the only post that's been made about the event in the event page or anywhere. So, you know,
the on our. So you wrote it up. I think I chimed in on some ideas, but don't we have like a sponsorship app on the site?
I don't know if
Or
it's
is
still on the
that? Do we
site or
still have
not.
that? I don't know.
Uh,
But I don't know. I think like the trend lately, as far as like events go, man, I think people are getting kind of lazy with promoting.
yeah, they
Um,
really have. They want a bunch of dollar amount for
so
uh,
what was Axial Fest like? 1,200 or 1,000 will get you.
uh, yeah,
That didn't.
it was $1,200 cash and $750 worth of product.
Yeah, and that's a Horizon. I mean, that's a big deal. That's paid promoters. Like they have a team of promoters that social media, all that stuff. And you're hearing about this. Everyone's seeing it.
Yeah,
Um,
but even still, it's still we're talking about 2 grand.
yeah,
2 grand for a single event.
which is
Um,
hefty. That's why we've backed out of Axial Fest for what, couple of years.
last 2 years,
It's
yeah,
just
it's
been too much. We did like the first two, I think, at
I think we
Badlands.
no we
Oh
yeah
no,
we
we
did the
had the
first two
one.
years of Badlands, but we also did a handful in California,
Yeah, when they.
um,
Yeah,
but
was it
yeah
Don?
these yeah at well yeah at Donner yeah wow Skill Builders Guild, hey
Hey,
buddy.
what's up, Matt?
um I guess you guys aren't J Concepts tire guys. I don't mind J Concept tires. I've got a couple sets of landmines. My my issue is I've never had a J Concepts tire that didn't bounce. When you're trying to slowly spin the tire, the lugs are really big, and the whatever their green compound, whatever they call it, their sticky compound, the lugs like fold over and the tire bounces when it pops back up. I've never been able to tune that out, so I typically don't run. I'm not a big fan of luggy tires though, so
I know that's my only gripe about the crawlers. I think they're a little bit. I think the lug height on them is a little too tall, so they get that effect, like what you're just talking about.
yeah. Like these, my class one Hyraxes are probably 40% tread remaining, and I finally got them to quit hopping because they're super feathered in, and the lug height is less than half of new. So like they're
Yeah,
they're pretty well broke in. That's why I like the trenchers, is because the lug height and lug spread on them is pretty small and pretty narrow, so they don't tend to hop. However, if you get any wet dirt or anything like that, the
game
trenchers
over.
just plug up. Yeah, they plug up and it's done. So
Yeah,
at places like Crawlapalooza, where there really is no dirt or sand or anything, it's not an issue. You can run trenchers all day long. But someplace like Tennessee or Tennessee State Championships, where you're running in moss and dirt and dirty rock, the trenchers really aren't going to work for you there. That's where I would run my Hyraxes or like a Tusk or something like that. But if I were going to run one of those tires, it'd have to be a very well broken in tire to try to get rid of the hop.
yeah. Um, I am not tire brand loyal.
I'm not
Honestly,
either.
I feel RC four wheel drives. Was it the sticky S? I don't know what their S. What, I don't remember their compounds, but their tires kind of came a long way. in the past couple of years. I've been running those Wrangler MTRs. Those are nice.
I've got a set of MTRs on my metal masher truck, wherever that went. My aluminum truck. No, it's up there.
And they nail this scale on those all their tires good. You can get as close as you want. You can read all the little fine print. It's pretty nice. I thought that was me. I was like, hey.
No. You guys know how I feel about the MTRs. Yeah. We know that's your favorite tire. The MTRs that are on my master truck are well broken in too. Like, it's pretty hard to show on camera, like, whatever, but
Yeah,
these tires they're pretty well feathered in there. There's quite a handful of miles on these tires, and they just get better and better and better and better every time you use them.
but their compounds are way better than they used to be.
Yeah.
It's like X2 or something. I can't remember. But
Yeah. There's a couple of miles on these tires and the body. So
yeah, never mind the tires. Look at that thing.
yeah,
It looks
she
like
knows a thing or two.
it looks like it re-entered the atmosphere and then landed on its roof.
My Scale Builders Guild sticker on the back, I used up all my give a darns, is 100% accurate. But I stick all my event stickers and everything inside the tailgate and inside the bed on this. So this has 2022 Scale Nationals, Axial Fest 2020 Adventurist, and Concourse 2020 Crawlapalooza, 21 Axial Fest, 22 Axial Fest, some sort of RC four wheel drive sponsored event that I don't remember. Axial Fest 23. I mean, this thing's seen a thing or two.
Badges of honor.
Yeah, it is. It's the Jeep Badges of Honor for my Masher Yoda.
That's the RC equivalent of putting patches on your headliner.
It is. It is. I feel bad for that truck. Why do you feel bad for this truck? This truck lives a solid life. It gets cleaned and put on a shelf when I get home. It's dustier than shit right now, but
He just got it out of the camper.
I did. Yeah.
From last year.
Yeah. Used to play.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, they did. They had RC four-wheel drive stickers.
Oh, it is probably Crawlapalooza 2019 is what that RC four wheel drive number 31 driver number 31 is probably from. Tusk work well for me. I've never been able to get the Hyrax to work. I've never had a Tusk actually work for me, but to be fair, I never liked a set of Hyraxes until I bought this set of Hyraxes. I got this set of Hyraxes used off a team driver of ours, Lucas Banks. These are 419 Predator compound Hyraxes, but they were decently broke in when I got them from him. And to this day, I don't know what foams are inside these. It's softer than I normally would prefer. Like there's less foam. The density of the foam is good, but it's a smaller diameter foam, so like there's a decent amount of play in the tire.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's probably like a 4-inch or a 3.8-inch foam inside the 419 tire. So there's like an air gap. But I've ran these tires now for, I think this is the third year I've ran these tires. And they just keep breaking in further and further. But I've never ran a set of Tusks that long to really know how they break in either. So I've got a set of landmines, 419 landmines that are pretty burned into. But I run the Hyraxes more often. I don't even know where. I think the landmines are over on the other workbench over there somewhere. I think Matt likes the MTRs for trolling purposes. No, Matt likes the MTRs for scale accuracy purposes. Those tires are very, very accurate to scale. And the MTRs are or were a pretty common tire in the aftermarket one-to-one line in the one-to-one world.
Yeah.
I know a lot of guys that still run MTRs on one-to-ones.
It's funny you mentioned that because like my deal with the crawlers is they look so weird to me when they're new because I only see them when they're almost bald. So
Yeah, when you see a crawler on a one-to-one, it's out on the West Coast when the tires are completely bald, and you're like,
shitty,
that tire has 5% tread life left. But
but it's
that's
the
when they're
best
the
it's ever
best.
been.
Yeah, yeah.
I think I need to like buy a slash, and when I get tires, I'll just sit there and like run it on like a curb, just full throttle.
Man, I have previously I had like a 2 inch or 3 inch wide stainless steel bristle brush that had like maybe quarter-inch tall bristles on it. And I don't even remember. I think it was a brush to like clean out your files. You know what I
Oh
mean?
yeah, yeah.
I think it was like a woodworker's, like to clean out the woodworking files.
Passed down from your great grandfather.
Yeah, I have no idea where it came from or what. I saw it one day. I had a
Origin.
brand new set of tires, so I took an old SCX 10-1 stub shaft and it clamped it into my battery drill and put a tire on a wheel with a hub and bolted it on, so I was able to spin the tire with my drill. And
Mhm.
I just ran that wire brush against the tire for a couple of minutes, and it really, I think, I'm pretty sure that's what I did with those landmines that are over there somewhere.
The
I,
the
for
Predator
like a minute or
compound
two,
probably goes quick.
yeah, it didn't take very long to knock the front edge off the tire. When you have a square lug tire, they bounce. You knock
Mhm.
that square edge off the front of the tire, and they quit bouncing. You still have all the decel, you just still have the square edge on the backside. So when you're going downhill or braking, you still have that square edge for braking. But the drive, it gets rid of that like curling effect of the lug. It doesn't take long. File card. Yes, that's what it's called. Yes, sorry. And I have no idea where it's at now. It's somewhere in my 3,000 square foot of bullshit here.
It's
Like
under the desk. It's under the desk hiding.
it could be on this bench that the camera's on right now. I don't know.
It's propping the camera up.
Yeah, usually they have brass bristles for cleaning out files. This one, I'm pretty sure, I'm 98% sure it has stainless bristles in it. So maybe it's not for a file, but I'm pretty sure, like I've seen those before for cleaning files. But at any rate, that's how I broke in at least a couple of sets of tires, just with a battery drill and a couple of minutes apiece, just on that bristle brush.
Bring it to Crawlapalooza when we mount those fresh
You asked me to
wheels.
find it first.
I'll search on Amazon real quick.
Yeah, you probably got better luck doing that than having me find that freaking thing.
Um,
I'm trying to
I guess more on Crawlapalooza. Are you gonna be in charge of the awning situation,
yeah,
or should I bring some?
I grabbed my 10 by 20 out of the camper today actually, and I brought it inside. I need to replace one of the arms, like
Okay.
little crisscrossy arms. It's broken. But I brought it inside today, so I'll set it up inside the shop one day this week, and I'll make me a new.
That'll save me a tremendous amount of space because I think I have 2 or 3 of those 10 by 10 purple awnings.
Yeah,
Might still bring one for the comp area or no? I don't know. I'm torn.
I don't, I don't think it's necessary.
All right.
Um,
I can.
If
What I was
if I'm
gonna
trailering the Jeep down, I've got plenty of room to pack the Jeep full of crap, and then
okay. Oh,
I've got the
nice.
whole bed of my truck. So kind of
Um,
like a dog brush. Yeah, that's kind of it, but it had
stainless
straight
steel on my
bristles.
dog? No.
Yeah, it had straight bristles. The dog brushes typically have like a 45 in the bristle for combing, whatever. But yeah, it was like a straight bristled little brush. I mean, okay, guys and gals, I'm here. Perfect. We'll start over
Yeah, from the top.
from the top. Take it from the top.
Um, yeah, I'll just bring. I have a bunch of tables, so I'll just load up tables,
Yeah,
coolers.
I'll
Yeah, I'll
bring.
bring all the coolers. I got the
I'll have
cooler
my 12-volt
situation.
cooler. I'll have my 12-volt cooler in the Jeep. So,
I have that cool Yeti with the water dispenser.
mm,
Maybe I'll make some jungle juice or what do they call it? Trash can punch.
yeah, there you go.
I don't know. What do they call that stuff?
Yeah, Ryland's in here. What's going on, buddy? See
He's
you
getting
next
ready.
week.
Yeah, he's getting ready for that flight.
Isn't he in California? He's already in California, aren't you, Ryland? You on vacation with the family right now?
Dang, he's everywhere.
Been here just driving. Got another ticket. Yeah, we talked about that a little bit last week or the week before. How like I just don't even pay attention to the speedometer anymore. So if I get a ticket, it's just paying my permit fee for the last couple of years of not paying any attention at all to what's going on around me. I pay attention to everything that's going on around me except the speed limit.
I get this weird habit of watching other people pay attention on their phones. And am I any better when I do that?
You're looking around to see who's on their phones.
You're on your phone. You're on your phone. Oh,
Yeah,
gosh.
yeah. Are you going to sell the vinyl wraps on the site eventually? Yeah, I'm going to. I've got a bunch of new patterns. Um, so I think I'm going to redo everything that's on the site as far as the wraps go, and just have a different style patterns. I'm gonna try to keep just re-upping different patterns so we're not selling the same pattern for a year.
Well, Starker comes
SMW
out with new
wheels
rule
showed up
sets
today.
every year.
Appreciate it, dude. Glad they made it. Hope you enjoy them. I like those wheels. I really did. I just didn't use them for anything. I bought them because they were rare and you couldn't really find them, and thought I was going to use them, and I used them once. So Rob's in here too tonight. What's going on, Rob?
Rob, you ever gonna leave the safety of your town and come down to Crawlapalooza?
I thought Rob was coming to my shop last week, but he didn't come.
Ooh,
Oh, I think it
getting
was
called
last week
out.
he said he was coming. I think he told me 2 weeks ago the last week he was coming. Maybe it was 3 weeks ago the 2 weeks ago he was coming. All I know is
Don't
Rob
know.
did not show up.
He just shows up.
Yeah. Oh man. So I've got our printed a thing, two-sided sign for Crawlapalooza. I still have to do the night run uh, design and print that, but
Do we though?
I don't need to. But like, I have a two-sided sign, so I could just print the same thing for the other side, but I'd rather have one side be one thing and one side be the other thing.
Tell how good of a mood I am by the look on my face.
So yeah, fuck it.
uh,
Well, whatever. My appointment went up for 7.5 hours with the VA. Got out at 4 p.m. Was pissed. So I just went home. Yeah, I probably would have done the same thing.
does anybody have a pleasurable experience at the VA? I don't think
Not.
so.
Probably not at all. How's the lathe? The lathe run's great. I ran it for 9 hours today, almost 10 hours today.
Banshee motor mounts.
Yeah, foot peg mounts, but yeah,
Foot peg mounts.
yeah.
Dude, how weird is that to make Banshee parts? Who'd have thought?
Dude, the Banshee's been discontinued since '06,
I
and
know.
like people are still fixing and building them. Like,
It got hot. I mean, I kind of want one.
yeah, I was looking at Banshees on Marketplace earlier today, last night, and this morning, and like the cheapest Banshee in this area that's of reasonable quality is $4,500.
I haven't been looking at Banshees, but I have been looking for a stand-up jet ski. Something I
I've
need.
owned,
I
I've
mean,
owned
I want.
three. I've owned three stand-up jet skis.
I just want to do so. I talk with some coworkers. I just want to do. I want to plunge in, do my backflip, and then probably sell it. That's all I want. I just want to do the
So,
backflip.
so the problem with wanting to do that is
I
you
want off
you
here.
don't you don't need a regular stand-up jet ski.
No, it's got to be like a 750 or more,
It needs to be or more.
or
Like,
more.
so you're looking at like a $10,000 to $30,000 stand-up jet ski to do a standing backflip.
Dang it! Smash
Like,
my dreams. They're
you can do
crushing me
backflips.
right now.
You can do backflips on lightly modded Yamaha Superjets,
Yeah.
but you have to hit a big wake
Wait.
to be
Yeah.
able to
Yeah.
do it. And hitting a big wake on a stand-up jet ski is certainly not the easiest thing in the world to do. You will eat shit way more times than you think you're going to eat shit just to do a backflip. You need a wet Hayabusa,
So,
yes, basically that.
so get a friend to buy one is what you're saying.
Yeah, like if I were going to buy a stand-up jet ski to do freestyle tricks, I would be looking for a used Richter hull with some built motor.
I did. I saw a ridiculous one. I forget what motor it was, but it was not the norm 750 or whatever. It was some like I think like what you're saying. I think it was like 1,000 or 1,100 cc.
Yeah,
Um, it didn't look like it had any. That motor didn't look like it had any business being in that watercraft.
yeah,
And I was like, I would be scared of that thing.
yeah. Rylan says this is his last day in San Diego. Next 5 days are in Disneyland. Enjoy
Wow.
your enjoy your $20,000 bill.
Dang, Rylan. Jeez, they got make me depressed like that for.
Brother, you go to the event in Rochester on Saturday by any chance? That is the Backyard Hobbies event, correct? I hadn't planned on it purely because I need to get my junk in order for the following weekend. But if a bunch of people are going that I know, I'm backwoods. That's it. If a bunch of people are going that I know, I could potentially. I mean, it's only an hour from here. I could maybe pop in with the Ford Ice or something, trail around with, I guess, or maybe this truck.
Do it.
I was gonna go to the Pot of Gold RC swap meet here this past weekend, but I got distracted with other stuff on Saturday.
Yeah, wait. How's the bathroom working out?
I spent all of Friday night, yeah, all of Friday night drilling holes in the concrete, and so I used a masonry bit and drilled a bunch of holes in the concrete, and then I was using a big steel spade chisel and a mallet and was just breaking up concrete. So spent all evening Friday evening doing that, and then I was doing other shit on Saturday, and then my wife was doing laundry all day on Sunday, which all the laundry water goes through that pipe that I was trying to expose. So I didn't expose the pipe. But she did laundry all day on Sunday. She did 8 or 10 loads of laundry on Sunday without a single issue, which is super freaking cool because the second load of laundry the previous weekend is when it flooded the basement. So
after 8 loads, it's good.
I don't know. I didn't fix anything. I dug up chunked up a bunch of concrete, but I didn't really do anything else. So yeah. I know Rick Boggs, myself. Hibby says yes, but probably won't. It's probably true. What is this chassis you keep teasing us with? I assume that's the one in front of you. That's the C1 Pro Leafer kit.
Yeah. You can mess with it at Crawlapalooza. But yeah, this is the C1 Pro. It's a prototype. The production version will be a little bit different than this. But yeah, we had enough requests for the C1 Trail Leafer, and a lot of people were asking about a C1 Leaf since the Mola is technically a Class 2 because of the angled skid. So did the homework, figured out this is the second version or revision of this frame, but yeah, come check it out at Crawlapalooza if you want to get it up close and personal. But realistically, it's probably like another month out before I order like the production batch. But
Pilot Ryan says he sold 12 planes at Pot of Gold and bought a 2-wheel drive buggy. The last time I went to Pot of Gold, it was at the VFW Hall in Mishawaka, and it was so packed with both vendors and people going to the event that it was basically elbow to elbow. Couldn't see, couldn't talk to anybody, couldn't. I mean, unless you were standing directly in front of the thing you were trying to buy and had direct eye contact with the seller, you weren't buying a damn thing. And this was the only thing that I bought there. Probably 2015, 16, 17, potentially 17, probably 15 or 16. And this is just a Venom motorcycle. Super cool little.
Sweet drunks?
No, because it sucks. It looks really cool. It does function pretty well. It has rear suspension, chain drive. It does have front suspension also that does work. Cool little bike. And I think I paid like $40 for it or something like that. It's got a 27 megahertz, so like crystal style radio in it, hence the antenna.
Love it.
And it's got like a 2-in-1. I think a 2-in-1, probably the first 2-in-1 receiver ever made. Speed control and receiver. And then the battery slides in the bottom of the chassis here is a big battery, and it is a like 1200 milliamp
NiCad.
I'm gonna pull the body off this thing just to see because I don't remember.
Don't do it.
Definitely not as busy this time. Well, it wasn't super busy that time either. It's just it was such a small venue that everybody was crammed in there like sardines. I mean, you're talking about like just a local VFW hall. It wasn't 1200 milliamp, 7.2 nickel metal hydride battery. So that runs an absolute maximum of like 4.5 minutes.
I was gonna say, man, that wouldn't even.
Oh, it's
really
not a
run
2-in-1
people's
ESC and receiver.
radios.
The receivers, receivers on that side and the speed controls on this side. I thought it was a 2-in-1. It's not. But
That just
I have
means you
not.
can upgrade it now.
Yeah, I have not powered this thing up or attempted to run it since probably 2 or 3 weeks after purchasing it.
Can you fit a Fusion in there?
No. Fusion Pro will not fit. However,
Uh-oh.
I bet you that this little Holmes revolver, little 380 revolver would fit.
So I wonder if a revolver would have almost like a gyro effect.
I mean, you'd think it should.
I assume that has a gyro in it.
No.
No? Damn, just speed.
Yeah.
Built for speed.
No, this was before gyros.
Is it like weighted tires or something, or no?
No, it just sucks that bad.
Just
So it
just
had
sucks so bad.
it had that stuck out the
Raw
sides.
skill.
It had that went from here to here. It had like a hoop that stuck out
Yeah, that's
to
right.
where it would only lean to a certain point, but it still leaned over farther than what it would correct itself from. So, and the turning radius was terrible. So the only place I ever tried to drive this was outside my house on, just a standard like 2-lane neighborhood road.
Yeah.
And the turning radius was larger than
the
width of a 2-lane road. So like you'd have to drive it down to the next intersection and like whip out and try to turn back around. But by the time it's that far away from you, it's hard to see because it's not that large of a vehicle.
And that
So you would
crystal
always
maxing out.
You would always crash it as far away from you as it would actually drive with, a regular crystal radio and as far as you can see it. You would always crash it as far away from you as you possibly could. So then you'd have to walk down and get it, stand it back up, and you drive it back down towards your driveway. Then you crash in the driveway. And you have to walk your happy ass back down to the driveway. Take off again. You drive down to the intersection and crash it down there. And you have to walk back down there and pick it up. And so realistically, I probably have like 5 to 7 minutes of runtime on this bike since I bought it 7 to 10 years ago.
Nice.
Yeah.
You probably get a nice battery for it, though.
Yeah. I mean, you just run a regular 2S LiPo in it, it'd be fine. But the ESC wouldn't have any type of LiPo cutoff or anything, so you have to pay attention to that.
Is it Tamiya plug?
No, actually, it's some weird. That makes it even worse. It's some other weird.
Worse than Tamiya? I was gonna say, I think Matt has a ton of Tamiya plugs for you.
Yeah, it's some like little 2-pronged little weird plug.
Yeah, it's like a receiver battery or radio battery.
Yeah, kind of.
Huh.
But it came with a front stand that pins up into the lower triple clamp, and a rear stand. It goes on 2 little nubs on the swing arm that it never stays on.
So you can do a quick pit stop.
Yeah. I normally just leave it sit on the front stand, and then the rear stand just sits there for looks.
I do like some smoky burnouts or something.
I'm not sure it has that kind of power. I don't remember.
You're just not using enough water, man. Canola oil. We'll get it, man. We'll come to the brazen booth. We're going to do standing burnouts in that thing, in the table. Smoke show.
So there's a line down the center of the rear tire that I assume is the seam of the tire. And there's like a little spot of yellow showing.
Oh no, the wear marks.
that may or may not be the foam inside the tire.
Yeah. Closed cell, nice.
Uh,
Don't pry at
no,
that. Let's cut it open. Let's look.
that's not the foam. It's not all the way through there, but
So you're saying you're
it's just,
down to shred the tire? I want to see it fly off.
I don't know that it would.
Fly off into the crowd at a
I'd have
whopping
to, like
3 miles an hour.
Rob said, take 2 hours to charge the battery for 4 minutes of runtime.
Should shred that tire in 30 seconds.
Probably would. So for anybody that's coming to Crawlapalooza, Wesley and I are gonna buy pizzas on Friday night.
I forget the name of the pizza joint, but we're gonna order pizza.
Yeah, just we'll have pizzas at the booth. Just it'll be during the same time as the awards and raffles and whatnot, but our booth will be right there. So hang out, talk shit, eat pizza, maybe buy something while you're there, and listen for the raffles and whatever.
I think I like thought of this as I was like falling asleep, and I'm not gonna text you at the times I fall asleep. Um, but I was gonna see if I was thinking about stocking in the cooler like some Millers. You know, they might be, or yeah, it's Miller. Might not be everyone's favorite beer, but what if you could do the logo, but it's say mullet time, and it'll have brazen scale underneath, and then we have Millers in the cooler.
I mean, I'm not gonna drink any Millers.
I mean, free beer is free beer.
Yeah. Not sure if you're cool enough to hang out with. Yeah, pretty much. It's pretty accurate. The driver figure comes off of this thing pretty easy too. It's just two little body clips, which are both missing.
Looks like a Star Wars person right there.
Yeah, it kind of does. Like a the steering is pretty interesting on this. Also, it has a servo here, and the servo arm pulls and pushes. But there's like a springs on the steering for like a servo saver.
Could actually be like a what do you call it from the what are they? It's not death wobble. Is it death wobble on a motorcycle?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like this is all the further it turns.
Heck yeah.
Those little springs are pretty weak. Maybe that was why this thing was so hard to drive. The springs on the servo saver are adjusted so soft that it just wouldn't actually turn.
You should just XR mod that steering on that.
Yeah, great. I mean, I like this little bike. It's cool looking. It's pretty scale looking, but as far as functionality goes, pretty shitty.
So you're gonna get the 6 scale? Is that what you're saying? Is that
They
where you're
have
going
one.
with that?
I
Dude,
think
alright.
I think they have one at Hobbytown and Granger. I think Ryan posted it the other day.
No jumping that though, or at our booth, because I think I sent a video to Josh or Matt, but it was they jumped one in a parking lot and it hit the fender of like a Civic. Dude, collapsed that fender.
Yes.
That thing is
Smash.
serious.
Smash that car.
That was a serious dent. That the fender's smoked.
Yeah.
So no jumping those.
Oh man, I'm really running on fumes. I don't know if I'm gonna make it till 10, guys.
I got the 20% battery light on.
Tonight might be a 9:30 night.
9:30.
I've been here since 7:15. It's 9:15 now.
Did you even go home after work or no? Just
No.
chill.
I've been here for 14 hours.
We need to figure out our other video streaming situation because I think I just got the mic all working, so I
So
shouldn't sound like I'm in a empty room of an apartment because I'm not.
so my problem is number one that I run a Mac and it doesn't have any Ethernet ports on it. So I bought an Ethernet adapter, but it's USB-C,
Oh, yeah.
and my Mac doesn't have USB-Cs. And in fact, I only have two USB ports. And when we do the video stuff the other way, the camera's plugged into one USB port, the mic is plugged into the other USB port. Well, last week, I tried plugging this Ethernet adapter into a
Bloody.
USB hub that had a
Too much.
USB-C.
Is that too much data?
So this and the camera were going into this USB hub, which had an adapter to go to regular USB because this is also USB-C.
That's some
Because
crap.
So I think that was the issue. Maybe if I just did this Ethernet adapter with a USB-C to USB adapter and plug this in, and then I run this hub on the other side where the mic and the camera would both be plugged into this hub instead of the Ethernet and the camera being plugged into the hub. Maybe that would work better. But we're still running off my shitty internet.
Yeah. It also sometimes on the Surface Pro, I'll look over and the display will be like lining out, like freaking out. So after that event, that last horrible stream, I reinstalled the display drivers, and there's another driver I uninstalled and reinstalled. So that might have been it too. Maybe a little bit of this, maybe a little bit of your thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll figure it out.
How old is your Mac? It's like a 2016 MacBook Pro.
Dang, that came out the same year as my phone, dude.
Yeah, but I've upgraded the storage and whatever in it, and it runs really, really good. But I'm still connected to bullshit internet. So, and Sarah and my wife said get a camera with a mic in it. I have a camera. This is a Insta360 gimbal, multi-axis with multiple mics in it. But the problem is that it's 5 feet away from me. So
My issue also.
yeah, so it has to be far enough away to get a wide enough angle that the sound quality sucks ass. But having something like a mic on a boom or something like that, you can direct your audio. Like last week, Wesley was complaining about the cricket in the shop. Well, the cricket was behind the camera, but the mic was picking up the cricket on the floor.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Just another
Jake's in here. What up, Jake?
time to go.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely gonna be an early night.
Yeah. But I really like this Insta360 camera. It works really well. It has facial tracking. It has 2 mics in it. It has the gimbal. There's all kinds of different things you can do with like zoom, and you can set it up to like if you mount the camera this way, like vertically down, the gimbal will face you or whatever, and then you click a button and it spins down to show your desk or whatever. And you can set up like how far it aims down to show the shit that's on your workbench or whatever, if it's vertical or 20 degrees out from there. I really like the camera, and the video quality is really good, but I said it's far enough away for this setup that the audio is far enough away.
Yeah. It's been my problem. Audio. Some of the videos, I think I'm like, all right, that's not bad. And then others, I'm like, man, I feel like I'm like talking down a hallway. So,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know. I want to try. Maybe we'll try next week or something. Maybe I'll try doing this again, plugged into the internet. But all of it is to try to get the live chat to replay for people who are watching it after the live stream. Because right now, doing it this way, you can't.
Yeah.
It doesn't come back up. Which I don't know how much you guys care about that or not, but I mean, it kind of matters to me. So. But I'm just ready for next weekend.
Yeah.
I don't even want to think about live. I don't even want to think about camera setups till after next weekend.
I just want to be loading the trucks in the truck and then driving. That sounds fun.
Yep, I've only done that once this year, and that was for Axial Fest. So I'm ready to load the trucks in the truck and go tiny trucking again.
Everybody I mentioned the event to that's not familiar with the RC thing, they're like, what the heck's in Oklahoma? I'm like, no, you don't understand.
Yeah.
It's Disney, Oklahoma. They're like, what's that? What could possibly be in Oklahoma?
Yeah, it's just rocks. That's
If
all
you
it is.
know, you know. Okay.
Yeah. Have you seen that comedian's like, I'm not retarded, but I like rocks?
Yeah. I was gonna actually, I was gonna say if you'd run like that, I forget the comedian's name, but run that picture and make little decals.
Yeah. I'm not retarded, but I like rocks.
I just like the way they feel. Have them in my pocket.
I love that dude.
They film all that here locally.
Yeah.
Downtown. Those shows, man, those are impossible to get into. They're not impossible. I'm just not good at like sniping tickets.
Yeah.
I can't. They usually go on sale while I'm at work, and there's just no way.
Yeah. Needs to be on a t-shirt. I agree. Needs to be on a t-shirt, needs to be on stickers, needs to be on everything. It's like the way they feel.
Yeah. What's funny is I'm surprised we haven't seen anybody post on the fan page yet, but I actually have gotten another like couple dozen of those fossils, and I've been putting them in packages recently. So you'll see
Nobody's
those
been like,
pop
what the
up.
hell's this rock? Why'd I get a shell?
If it's a fossil, it is a rock.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've been
Some
tossing
fun
those in
stuff.
some packages.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, whatever.
Crawl on it. I don't care. Do whatever you want. Glue it in your interior. Be a cool scale point.
Throw it away. Don't care. Whatever. Do whatever you want
Throw
to
it
do.
away.
Just,
Hey, they sell those in Canada for $25 a pop. Okay, I just happen to find them everywhere.
yeah. Oh man. I found a couple.
Canada, Kentucky, that'd be cool.
No.
Just like just raw property, nothing on it.
Yeah. Both of these properties are south of Lexington, Kentucky. One's 100 acres and one's 135 acres, and they're both One of them's 200,000, the other one's 300,000.
Well,
The
that's a
more
lot of
expensive
acreage.
one, what's that?
That's a lot of land.
It's a lot of land for a reasonable amount of money. And the one with 130 something acres has waterfalls and creeks and ponds and
Dude.
all
So
kinds of shit.
everyone talks about what if they hit the lottery, da da da. But dude, I would like to get a chunk of land like that and just have some single track trails and open up like a super primitive campground to where you're going to be traveling to that camp spot.
Yeah,
I think that'd be cool.
yeah. Well, like I was been discussing it with the wife, and I'm like, 135 acres of pretty much mountain. Your Cumberland Mountains is what it is. What Cumberland Plateau or Cumberland Mountains, whatever you want to call it. It's terrain.
Yeah,
130 acres. It's going to take you a while to explore 130 acres. Like there could be a waterfall on your property that you don't know about for 10 years. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah.
Kind of cool.
There's this campground a few hours away, but it's just you primitive camp in this like valley or whatever, with the river, and it takes you 40 minutes to get to the back of the property, and it's just a single track trail with some camp spots on the side. It's
Yeah.
cool, but yeah, it's 40 minutes of automobile driving.
Yeah.
It's not that
And
long. I think I rode it on my bike. It's like 5 miles.
yeah.
It's not that
So
much.
the only thing really for me, the only thing that I really need per se is enough power to run these machines. It's not like, everybody talks about, oh, there's no jobs there. There's nowhere to work, whatever. I don't need to, to go get a job realistically. I need to be able to power my machines. I need a post office and a UPS truck.
Yeah,
Aside from that, I don't really need a whole lot of infrastructure other than potentially somebody to teach my kid at school. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Homeschool him, whatever, but
I had a
I
coworker
don't
looking
need
up
a whole lot of infrastructure around me.
land in Colorado, but the tricky thing with that was, like 5 months out of the year, you might not be able to leave or get into that property unless you have like a
Yep.
snowmobile or snowcat.
Yep.
So I don't think, really, I don't think I could even I could probably adapt to that, but man, that's probably a bit more than I care to get into.
Right.
The land was cheap. It's probably, well, not as cheap as that land you're talking about, but I think it was like 30 or 40 acres for 100 or so.
Yeah. I mean,
But
there's pieces of property down there that are between 15 and 50 acres.
it's funny, like the concept of land, like up up by you now, it's like, yeah, we look at hundreds of acres, but like down here, you're like, whoa, that's more than a half acre. That's awesome.
Well, I mean, right around me, yeah, it's the same way. I mean, most homes have a half acre or less
Like a
around here.
quarter acre. Yeah.
But we're talking about the mountains in Kentucky is
Yeah.
where I'm looking. So it's like, it's a totally different thing down there.
Bear did
Sure.
it. He's looking at me. He's like, don't you dare blame me.
Yeah.
He's like,
He's
I
like, give me
got
my water dish back, fool.
Yeah. Actually, I forgot to put that up. So he's just not thirsty.
I'm drinking water too.
Yep. Hydration station.
Yeah. All right. Well, it's 9:30. I think I'm gonna call it a night at 9:30 tonight. I'm freaking whooped. We'll be back here in 10 hours.
I'm actually surprised the phone didn't die.
You're probably getting close.
Yeah, we hit it was 20% not that long ago, and it's on a lightning charger. I don't know if that thing should just be like whoosh. I don't know. She's getting tired, fellas.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, thanks for joining us on a Monday. Next Monday we'll be back again, hopefully with a little more steam in the tanks.
Yeah, we'll kind of
Next
recap some
Wednesday,
stuff.
yeah, next Wednesday will be, or next Monday will be the last one before Crawlapalooza, and then the week after we will talk about everything that happened over the weekend down there between Thursday and Sunday.
Yeah, that should be kind of an eventful one. I'll try and get to bed early that night, so I have so I'm all chipper for that live stream. So this should be cool.
Yeah. So, all right, man. Good chatting with everybody. Thanks everybody for checking in on us, and yeah, we'll see you next Monday.
Cool, appreciate
Later.
it.